is Hamzat al-Qata' and the second letter is Ayn A'u A'u. Ayn has a waw after it. It becomes A'u A'u. Is pronounced from the Hamza is pronounced from the all the way bottom of the throat, just before the chest, all the way bottom of the throat. So we have three places in the throat: all the way bottom of the throat, middle of the throat, and the top of the throat. And which is Hamza, is one of the throat letters, and it is pronounced from all the way bottom of the throat. So and then then comes the letter Ain. Ain is pronounced from the middle of the throat. So which is Hamza, and Ain, they both are, the pronunciations are very close to each other, but it is easy to differentiate between them, even though some people have problem pronouncing or differentiating between and a. But if we keep in mind and we focus a little, it becomes easy. So is pronounced from all the way bottom of the throat, and then we move on to the middle of the throat, and then we pronounce ain. So a'u, a'u. So is from the bottom, and a'u, ain is from the middle of the throat. A'u. Then comes the letter Dhal, which is pronounced using the tongue, using the using the top tip of the tongue. So Dhal is pronounced using the top tip of the tongue, and the tongue comes a little out. A'u, dhu, like that. We can't keep the tongue inside. We can't say a'u, zu. You have to put the tongue a little bit outside. Dhu, because the Dhal letter is different than the letter za. A'udhu, a'uzu, zu. Zu is a different letter than dhu. So we have to keep that in mind. The letter mentioned here is dhal, and for dhal, the tongue has to come a little outside. So we say a'udhu, a'udhu. Then comes billahi. The word Allah here is pronounced in the light manner, as we mentioned in the previous classes. And the reason behind it is because the word Allah, or the last vowel before the word Allah, is kasra. So kasra leads to lightness, and fatha and dhamma leads to heaviness. So since the last letter before the word Allah was kasra, that's why the word Allah here is being pronounced in the light manner. So we say billahi and not billahi. So a'udhu billahi. And then Mina, mim is pronounced from the lips, me, and noon is pronounced from, again, from the tip of the tongue. Mina, and then ash-shaytan ar-rajim. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Ta is a heavy letter here, and ra is also pronounced in a heavy manner here. So we have to keep that in mind. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So you can repeat after me. أعوذ أعوذ بالله من من الشيطان الرجيم. Okay, so let's move on to the Basmalah, which is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Again, here, Bismillah, the word Allah here is pronounced in a light manner again because of the kasrah that is coming right before the word Allah. Then we have Ar-Rahman. Ra is pronounced in a heavy manner here because of the fatha on it. And Ha is pronounced from the middle of the throat. Bismillahir Rah. And Ar-Rahim, Ra is again in a heavy manner. And Ha is again from the middle of the throat. If you would like to understand أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم and بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم and learn it and or in more detail, so you can access back to the previous classes, and we explained that we basically explained every single letter in the ta'awudh and bismillah. So you can always go back to the previous classes, and inshallah you can benefit from there. So let's move on to the first ayah of Surah Al-Ikhlas. The first ayah of Surah Al-Ikhlas. So the first word we have in the first ayah is قُل. The first ayah is قُل هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. And the first word in the first ayah is قُل. the word contains two letters. So qaf and lam. The word has two letters, which is qaf and lam. Qul. Qaf is a heavy letter. Qaf is a heavy letter. It is pronounced in a heavy manner. Qu. Qu. And lam here is considered light. It is supposed to be pronounced in a light manner, and that's why we have to keep that in mind. The heaviness of qaf should not make the next letter, which is lam, heavy. Should not affect the lightness of lam, and the lightness of lam should not affect the heaviness of qaf. So qaf in a heavy manner and lam in a light manner. So we have to pay attention to that. We empty my mouth. قل 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 uh, uh, it is confusing sometimes because qaf is heavy and lam is light. So sometimes the heaviness of qaf affects the lightness of lam, and the lam comes out kind of in a heavy manner. So we have to pay attention to that, inshallah, and we have to make sure that qaf is pronounced in a heavy manner, and the heaviness of qaf should not affect the lightness of lam. So we have to say qul, qul. So qaf is pronounced using the back tongue. For example, this is the tongue. The qaf is pronounced using the back tongue. It goes all the way up and touches the basically the light or the soft palate of the top of the mouth, right in the behind, the soft palate. So qaf, back of the tongue raises up, it touches the soft palate in the behind, inside the mouth. Qu, qu, qu. So qaf is heavy, it touches the soft palate up there inside the mouth, and that's how we pronounce the qaf. Qu, qu. And then comes lam. La is pronounced from the tip of the tongue. The lam is pronounced from, I'm sorry, the lam is pronounced from the front sides of the tongue. The lam is pronounced from the front side of the tongue. The front side of the tongue. قل 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 قل. Yes. قل. You can practice with me, inshallah. قل قل قل. Wrong. Kul. Wrong. Kul. Wrong. قل. قل is a proper. قل is a proper manner. Let's move to the next word, which is huwa. Qul huwa. Ha. The first letter is ha, which is pronounced from, again, bottom of the throat. So in the throat, we have 6 letters pronounced from the throat. Hamza ha, ayn ha, ghain kha. Hamza ha is pronounced from the bottom of the throat. We mentioned Hamza before, and now is ha. Ha is also pronounced from the bottom of the throat. So ha, a lot of people get confused between ha and ha. Ha and ha. Ha is pronounced from the bottom of the throat, while ha is pronounced from the middle of the throat. They both are different letters. So you have to keep that in mind. Hu, qul hu, the ha is mentioned here, is the ha that is pronounced from the bottom of the throat. Then comes the letter waw. Waw is pronounced from waw is pronounced using the lips. Waw is pronounced using the lips. So I say hu from the bottom of the throat, and then comes the turn of waw. I say wa, wa. So I start the pronunciation of waw while my lips are round, and then I open it. Wa, wa. قل هو 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 wa. The is wrong. Wa. Qul huwa. Okay. And then comes the word Allah. Lafzul Jalala. The word Allah, we have two different pronunciations for the word Allah. One is in a heavy manner and the other is light manner. So it depends on the last vowel that comes before the word Allah, right? So if the last vowel before the word Allah is a fatha or dhamma, then the word Allah will be pronounced in a heavy manner. And if the last vowel that comes before the word Allah is a kasra, then the word Allah will be pronounced in a light manner. So the word Allah here is heavy because the last vowel that is coming before the word Allah is a fatha. So keep that in mind. Fatha and dhamma leads to heaviness, while kasra leads to lightness. So قل هو الله. قل هو الله. قل هو الله. الله. Someone says قل هو الله. Lahu is wrong. قل هو الله. My mouth is full. قل هو الله. 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 قل هو الله. قل هو الله. قل هو الله. Allahu. The last letter here is ha again, which is pronounced from the bottom of the throat. So قل هو الله. Then comes the word ahad. Ahad. Is Hamza, which is Hamzatul Qata'. So it is always pronounced, as we mentioned in the previous classes, that Hamzatul Qata' is always pronounced A. And it is pronounced from all the way bottom of the throat. And then comes the letter Ha. Ha is pronounced from the middle of the throat. We mentioned that before. So ha, is from the bottom of the throat, and Ha is from the middle of the throat. Ha, ha, bottom of the throat, then move to the middle of the throat. Aha, aha, aha. قل هو الله أحد. Aha. Then comes the letter dal. Dal is pronounced from the tip or the top tip of the tongue. Dal is pronounced from the top tip of the tongue. قل هو الله أحد. أحد. And dal here, we're reading it in a manner where it carries a sukoon. The dal here is sakin because we're stopping on it. So since dal is sakin, we'll be applying the rule of qalqala here. The rule of qalqala here. Qalqala means basically bouncing. Qalqala basically means bouncing. So we have five qalqala letters. We have five qalqala letters. Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. These five letters are qalqala letters. Qaf, Ta, Ba, Jim, Dal. Whenever these letters are sakin, whenever these letters are sakin, they have sukoon, or they're being pronounced in a sakin manner. We basically bounce on them. Instead of saying قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ, I say أَحَدٌ. The. That is the qalqala. أَحَدٌ, the bouncing. أَحَدٌ, the. أَحَدٌ, أَحَدٌ. Not أَحَدٌ, not أَحَدٌ, أَحَدٌ. No, أَحَدٌ, أَحَدٌ. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Instead of saying أحد and stop there, I bounce a little. أحد, أحد, أحد. That is the proper way of pronouncing the word أحد. أحد. A lot of people get confused and they mix up the pronunciations of the ha with ha. So you have to keep that in mind also. Not ahad, but ahad. Ahad. You have to say ahad. قل هو الله أحد. قل هو الله أحد. So you can repeat after me. قل هو الله أحد. قل هو الله أحد. أحد. قل هو الله أحد. قل هو الله أحد. Okay. Then we can move to the next ayah, which is Allahu Samad. Allahu Samad. Allahu Samad. Okay, the first ayah in the word or the first word in the second ayah is the word Allah. The word Allah is the first word in the second ayah. And the word Allah, since we're starting with, the word Allah starts with Hamza. And the Hamza that is here in the word Allah is called Hamzatul Wasl. So Hamzatul Wasl is not always pronounced as we learned before. We only pronounce it if we start with it. If that's the first letter we're starting with, then only we pronounce the Hamzatul Wasl, or else it is not pronounced. So here, since we're starting the second ayah, we're starting with Hamzatul Wasl, we'll be pronouncing it. We'll sing and then it has a fatha. Since it has a fatha, then the lam here, which is in lafzul jalala, which is the lam that is in the word Allah, or the word Allah, will be pronounced in the heavy manner. We're saying Allah, not Allah. Allah, since it has a fatha before it. So we say Allah in a heavy manner again. Allahu. Then we have the word as-samad. As-samad. The word as-samad also starts with hamzatul wasl, but I'm saying Allahu samad without pronouncing the hamza because it is hamzatul wasl. Since I'm not starting with that hamza, I won't be pronouncing it. Since it comes in the middle, I won't be pronouncing it. And also the word as-samad has a lam in it, has a lam which is silent, which is called lam shamsiyya. I'm not pronouncing the lam, and we mentioned the ruling for lam shamsiyya in the previous classes. We said it depends on the letters that are coming after lam. So sad is one of the letters of lam shamsiyya, and lam shamsiya basically is the lam that remains silent and is not pronounced, and lam al qamari is the lam that basically we pronounce it and does not remain silent. So here the lam is silent because of the sad that is coming after lam. So as-samad, I'm saying as-samad, I'm not saying the lam. So when I say Allahu samad, sad has a shadda. So I have to make sure that I'm taking enough time on the letter sad. Shadda basically means the letter comes two times. Shadda basically means the letter is originally two times. So one time it is with sukoon, and the other time it is with the haraka, with the vowel. So Allahus sa, Allahus sa, Allahus sa. No Allahu sa, sa, no. Allahus sa, Allahus sa. Also, we have to keep in mind the letter sad here is it is a heavy letter. It is a heavy letter. So you have to keep that in mind. And we have to make sure that sad is being pronounced in a heavy manner. And our mouth should be full while pronouncing the letter sad. So Allahu sa, sa, not sa, not sa, 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 sa. Allahu sa, as-sa. And then comes the letter meme. Meme is pronounced using the lips. Allahu sama, ma. Then again we have the letter dal, and dal is here also. We're pronouncing it in a second manner since it is containing a sukun because we're stopping here. So the dal will be pronounced. I'm sorry. The ruling of qalqalah, which is bouncing, will be applied here. Instead of saying Allahu samad, I'll say Allahu samad, samad, as-samad, Allahu samad, mad, d, Allahu samad. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد 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 الله heavy manner, mouth is full. الله صمد لم يلد. Then comes the next ayah, which is لم يلد ولم يولد. Inshallah, this will be easy because we have same letters repeating a lot of times. So the first letter, the first word is lam. Lam. Lam here We mentioned lam is pronounced from the side of the tongue, the sides of the tongue, and then we have meme, which is pronounced from the lips. Lam, lam. And then I have yalid. I have the letter ya. Ya, the letter ya is pronounced from the middle of the tongue. The middle of the tongue. Ya, 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 ya. Then I have lam again. Then I have dal. Lam yalid. D. Dal. Again, dal has a sukoon. So that's why we'll be doing qalqala on the dal. Lam yalid. Yalid. And then we have wa. Wow is pronounced from the lips. Again, we have lam. Walam. So lam yalid. Walam yulad. Yulad. We have the letter ya with a wow sakin. You. So wow here is sakin. So that's why wow is whenever we have alif or wow or ya in a sakin manner, we have mad on them. We have mad on them. Here, the mad, the type of mad we have is mad tabi'i, the original or the natural mad, which is called the original or the natural mad, and uh, the lengthening amount of this mat is only 2 harakat. So you, that's enough. You, that's enough. You, we have to make sure we're lengthening it for 2 harakat. 2 harakat. لم يلد ولم يولد. Lad. Lam again and dal again. Dal is sakin, so we have to do qalqala. لم يلد ولم يولد. يولد. لم يلد, not لم يلد. لم يلد. د. قلقلة. ولم يولد. يولد. د. ولم يولد. لم يلد ولم يولد. لم يلد ولم يولد. Okay. Then we have the last ayah, which is walam. We mentioned that before. Then comes the word yakun. Yakun. And then we have the word lahu. Now, I want to mention these 2 words together. Yakun lahu. Because if you break it down, we say yakun lahu. But if you're joining it, we have different ruling here. So, walam yakun lahu. We can see the noon here, but the noon here won't be pronounced. The noon here won't be pronounced because we have a special rule here. Since noon is sakin. Okay, before we go to this ruling, let's mention the letters before it. Yakun. We have ya from the middle of the tongue, and then we have the letter kaf. Kaf is pronounced again from the back of the tongue, rising up and touching the hard palate. The hard palate up there in the mouth, the hard palate, it is touching there. So qaf, the letter qaf we mentioned before, qul, qaf was the same thing, back of the tongue rising up and touching the soft palate. But kaf is touching the hard palate. So qaf, the letter qaf, which is heavy, is touching the soft palate. The heavy letter touching the soft palate, but kaf, which is light, is touching the hard palate. So qaf, the heavy letter touching the soft palate, and the light letter touching the hard palate. So keep that in mind. وَلَمْ يَكُلْ لَهُ kaf is back of the tongue rising up and touching the hard palate. Ka, ki, ku, ka, ka. وَلَمْ يَكُ, not yaku, but yaku, light, yaku, yaku. Then we have noon, but we're not pronouncing this noon because noon is sakin here, and the letter that is coming after noon is the reason that we're not pronouncing the noon. So here, whenever we have noon sakin, we have different rulings. It depends on the letter that is coming after noon. So whenever we have noon with a sukoon, we have 4 rulings. We have either idhar or idgham or iqlab or ikhfa. Idhar, which means clear pronunciation. Idhar means clear pronunciation, meaning noon should be pronounced in a clear manner. Here, an idhar has its own letters. So here, the letter that we have after noon is lam, which is the letter of idgham. Idhar means clear pronunciation. Idgham means merging. Iqlab means exchanging or turning over. And ikhfa means hiding. Ikhfa means concealing or hiding. Here we have lam. Lam is one of the letters of idgham. The ruling of idgham. Lam is one of the letters of the ruling of idgham. So idgham has 6 letters. Ya, ra, mim, lam, which is here, and waw and noon. You have two kind of idghams. Two kind of idghams. One is idgham with ghunna and idgham without ghunna. The other is idgham without ghunna. Idgham with ghunna has 4 letters. I'm sorry. Idgham with ghunna, yes, has 4 letters. Idgham without ghunna has 2 letters. So ya, mim, waw, and noon, which is yanmu, ya, noon, mim, waw. If any one of these letters come after noon, sakin, we merge the noon into these letters while doing ghunna. But if lam or ra comes after noon sakin, then we merge the noon sakin into these letters but without doing ghunna. So here we'll be merging the noon into lam but without the ghunna. So the noon sound will be gone completely. The noon letter will be merged into lam, and the lam will carry an automatic shadda. Lam will carry an automatic shadda. So I'll be saying walam yakullahu. Walam yakulla. Walam yakulla. I won't say yakun la, but I'll say yakulla. The sound and the pronunciation of noon will be gone completely, and the lam will carry an automatic shadda. So walam yakulla. Yakulla. The noon sound is gone completely. That's why I'm not pronouncing the noon, because of the ruling of idgham, ruling of the merging. Noon is merging into lam. Is that clear to everyone? I hope this is clear, inshallah. So walam yakulla, then comes the letter ha, and ha has a small waw after it. If you can see the mushaf, walam yakullahu, walam yakullahu. So ha with a small waw becomes hu, and it is also an original med, which is two harakat long. So walam yakullahu, walam yakullahu, yakullahu. Then comes the word kufuwan, kufuwan. Kaf has a dhamma, ku. Then fa has a dhamma. Fa is pronounced from the lips. Fu, fu, fu. Walam yakullahu ku, fu, fu, kufu. And one. Waw has fathatain. Waw has fathatain, becomes kufuwan. One. Waw also from the lips. Kufuwan. One. أحد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Now, before we moved on to the last word, which is ahad, you can see an alif after waw. You can see an alif after waw. But someone might ask, what is this alif here for? We're not pronouncing it. We're not saying kufuwan, or we're not pronouncing the alif basically. So this alif is here if in case we want to stop here. If there comes some reason, we're not catching the breath, or any reason, and we have to stop here, we will be saying kufuwa, kufuwa. As we know the stopping rules, the fathatain. So whenever we want to stop on a word in the Quran, we can just stop like that. We have rulings for stopping. So kufuwan, it depends on the last vowel that comes on the last letter. So here the last letter is waw, and there's fathatain. So whenever the last letter has fathatain, the two fathas, one fatha remains there and the other fatha changes to alif. That's the stopping rule for the fathatain. If we have the fathatain as last vowel and we want to stop on that word, so the fathatain, the first fatha remains there and the second fatha changes to alif. And that's why we have the alif there. In case we want to stop there, we can say kufuwa. That's the proper way of stopping. If someone says kufuwan and stops, that's wrong. While reciting Quran, of course. So kufuwa, kufuwa. That's how we stop. But here, since we're not stopping, we'll be saying kufuwan, and then we will continue saying ahad, ahad. So Hamza is pronounced from the bottom of the throat, Ha is pronounced from the middle of the throat, and then Dal, we're stopping there. So Dal has the ruling of qalqala there. Dal has the ruling of qalqala there. So we're saying ahad, the ahad, not ahad, but ahad. So walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. You have to keep in mind kufuwan. A lot of people do this mistake here, which is kufwan, kufwan, as if there's a sukun on fa. But we have to keep in mind that fa has a dhamma. So kufu, kufu, not kuf, but kufu, kufu, kufuwan, kufuwan, not kufwan, but kufuwan. ولم يكن له كفوا كفوا not كفوا but كفوا. Keep that in mind. The dhamma on fa. The dhamma on fa. ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. So let's recite the surah again. You can also recite after me. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Also, I forgot to mention this rule, which is kufuwan ahad. We have tanween here, and then comes the letter hamza. Kufuwan ahad. So here is the ruling of idhar. Remember we mentioned noon sakin has 4 rulings. So it is noon sakin, including tanween also. Since tanween sounds very similar, tanween sounds like noon sakin. So we have the same rulings for tanween also. So whenever we have tanween, it depends on the letter that is coming after tanween if we have to do ghunna or not, and how exactly you have to pronounce the tanween. Should we merge it? Should we pronounce it clearly? Or should we hide it or conceal it? So here is we have tanween and then comes the letter hamza. So hamza is one of the letters of the throat. At the same time, it is one of the letters of idhar, the ruling of idhar. Idhar means to, idhar means to, idhar means the clear pronunciation. Idhar means clear pronunciation. That's why we pronounce the tanween as kufuwan. We neither merged it into the next letter, we neither hid it, or we neither hide it or conceal it, and we neither um, uh, turn it over to some other basically meme, as we have in Iqlab. So here we're doing clear pronunciation without any ghunna, and the sound of tanween remains the same because we have the ruling of idhar. Kufuwan ahad, not kufuwan ahad. We don't have any ghunna here. So kufuwan ahad, because of the ruling of idhar, which is caused because of the letter hamza that is coming after it. So alhamdulillah, we were able to finish the surah, Surah Al-Ikhlas. A lot of people have memorized the surah, so we hope inshallah that we try our best to perfect and improve our recitation. So let's recite one more time inshallah, and then we'll be able to accept calls on the number that will be shown on the right, on my right on the screen inshallah. The number will be shown on the right, on my right on the screen, and you can call that number, and I'll be available, and I'll be able to accept your calls, and inshallah we can learn together and to improve our recitation. So let's start and let's recite one more time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. You can recite after me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد الله الصمد هذه الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد لم يلد قلقلة ولم يولد قلقلة لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد ولم يكن له كفوا كفوا not كفوا but كفوا كفوا أحد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد هذه الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to benefit and to learn from from the time we spent here. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accepts from us. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Now inshallah I'll be accepting your calls. You can call on the number that is provided on the right side, on my right on the screen. You can see the number on the right of my screen inshallah, and you can call the number and I'll be able to accept your calls بإذن ta'ala. Okay, in the meanwhile, we can keep practicing. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد. So I'm sorry, I have to plug my laptop. I'll be just plugging my laptop, inshallah, to the charger, and I'll be here.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Technical difficulties.
I'm sorry about that. Okay, is someone on the call? Assalamu alaikum.
I'm sorry about that.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Is this Brother Ismail?
Yes.
How are you doing, Brother Ismail?
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Good
And
to hear
family.
from you.
Oh.
Okay, so are you ready for reciting the surah, inshallah?
Inshallah.
Okay, Bismillah, you can start.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
If you can say that again, Brother Ismail.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
If you can take more time on the lam, which is billahi, because of the shadda. A'udhu billahi, billahi.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I cannot hear you.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Yes.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Very good, Brother Ismail. I would like you to recite after me. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
قل هو الله أحد
قل هو الله أحد.
قل هو الله أحد.
قل هو الله أحد.
If you can take a little more on the word Allah because of the shadda. قل هو الله أحد.
قل هو الله أحد.
الله الصمد.
الله الصمد.
لم يلد ولم يولد.
لم يلد ولم يولد.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
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 Okay, mashallah, Brother Ismail. Very good.
جزاك الله خير.
Is anyone there?
Yes, I'm Hamid.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How are you doing, Sheikh Nouh?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. How are you? Who is this? What's your name?
Muhammad Saidi. Abu Firas neighbor.
MashaAllah,
Remember me?
Hayakumullah. How are you doing,
Allah
Brother
Habib.
Muhammad?
Wallah, alhamdulillah. How you doing?
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Good to hear from you. How's your family?
Wallah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Everything good.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. تفضل يا Brother Muhammad. You can start your recitation.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
The last two ayahs, لم يلد ولم يولد, the qalqala on them, and ولم يكن له كفوا, fa has a dhamma, كفوا, كفوا أحد. Can you recite them again, please?
Okay. Where should I start?
لم
From the
يلد,
beginning or from the
لم
لم
يلد.
يلد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. There's some feedback, so if you can stay away from the laptop or
Okay.
لم يلد ولم يولد.
لم يلد ولم يولد
Yes, ولم
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Yes, good. ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
Yes, I also hear the pronunciation of noon in ولم يكن له. The noon is completely merging into lam, so the pronunciation of noon won't be there. So ولم يكن له without noon.
Without the noon. Okay.
Yes.
ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
كفوا كفوا.
كفوا
Yes.
أحد.
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 بارك الله فيك يا brother Muhammad.
جزاك الله خير شيخ نوح.
Say my
شكرا
salam to
لك.
your family, inshallah.
إن شاء الله you too. شكرا brother.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
We have another call.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Who is this?
Umair.
How are you, brother Umair? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Good to hear from you again.
Jazakallah. Okay.
Okay, you can start your recitation, inshallah.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
If you can start with أعوذ بالله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
MashaAllah. I like your makharij, the pronunciation. If you can only pay attention to the qalqala on the letter dal. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. You can recite one more time and pay attention to qalqala.
Okay. بسم الله. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
MashaAllah. Beautiful recitation, Umair.
جزاك الله.
وإياك. Take care. Say salam to your family.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Do we have another person on call? Do you have someone on the call? Okay, I don't see anyone. So if you would like to recite, inshallah, you can call on the number that is shown on the screen. In the meanwhile, before we receive anyone, we can practice one more time, inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Who is this? Abu Affan, mashallah. How are you doing? Alhamdulillah. How's your family? MashaAllah, MashaAllah. So is Abu Affan reciting or Affan reciting today? Okay, Abu Affan first, then we have Affan. Okay. So you can start, Abu Affan. MashaAllah. Beautiful recitation, Abu Affan. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful recitation, MashaAllah. May Allah reward you. وإياك. Do we have Affan now? Okay, you can go ahead, Affan. Affan, if you can repeat after me. Lam yalid. Lam yalid. Good. MashaAllah. 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 Beautiful recitation, Affan. And inshallah, one day you'll be leading people in Salah when you grow up, inshallah. Ameen. Take care, Affan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Okay, if we don't have any other call, we'll be reciting the surah one more time and we will be finishing our session with that, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allows us to benefit from what we learned and that He accepts from us. هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. On the call. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam.
How are you doing, brother?
Alhamdulillah. No, this is Mamoon.
Yeah, I could tell. I was like, this sounds familiar, mashallah. How are you doing, brother Ma'moon?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
How's your family?
How's everything? Yeah, family is good, doing good. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. So you can start your recitation, brother.
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
MashaAllah. One more time, brother.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Beautiful recitation, brother. May Allah reward you and
Alhamdulillah.
accept from you.
Thank you very much.
Keep us in your
Assalamu
prayers
alaikum.
and take care of your family.
Same to you, man. Same to you.
Assalamu alaikum wa
As well.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, do we have any other call? Okay, let's recite the surah one more time. And if we don't have any other call, we'll be ending our session, inshallah. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Inshallah, we'll be seeing all of you in the next session. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep everyone safe. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He accepts from us and He allow us to spend more time in the recitation of Quran and learning the Quran as and He protects us, our family, and takes away this calamity from all of us. إنه ولي ذلك والقادر عليه سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك وجزاكم الله خيرا.